Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the University of San Diego's Catholic Colleges Day with College Week Live. My name is Tiana Kelly, and I am an admissions counselor here at USD. I am also an alumna of USD, graduated 2005. We are discussing today on the screen to your right the overview of USD, USD's Catholic identity, university ministry, student perspective, and how to apply to USD. With us today we have Aaron Bishop, who is the Associate University Minister, and we'll be talking about USD's Catholic identity. Why come to USD? Well, we believe in academic excellence. It is a part of our core values, which cultivates faculty engagement. We are very big on building relationships with not only faculty, but staff and administration here at USD. We also provide undergraduate research and internship opportunities for those students who want to have experiences outside of the classroom. We have a great campus community that is very inclusive and diverse, not only spiritually, but also ethnic, traditions, cultural-wise. We are located in the beautiful San Diego, California, very close to the beach, about 7 minutes away. We have a wonderful view of the Pacific Ocean, downtown, Balboa Park, Coronado Island. And then our students are very successful, not only academically, but socially, and after USD. About 79% of our students receive a job within 6 months of graduation. 19% go on to graduate schools or professional schools. And then we have a handful that volunteer locally and are traveling and doing mission work abroad. Now, Erin is here to talk about the Catholicism at USD, and I will hand it over to her.
Great.
Erin?
Well, thanks, Tiana. Like Tiana said, that I work on the team for university ministry, so I work directly with students in regards to their faith lives. And I'm here to talk a little bit about what it means to be going to a Catholic school and what does Catholicism look like at USD. We're a Catholic school. That being said, we accept students of all faith traditions, so you'll find a great religious diversity here on campus. But it's also a place where Catholic students find their faith really vibrant, really alive. So we encourage all students to engage in their own faith and their own spirituality, to explore, what do I believe? Who is God for me? To find new ways of praying, to really explore who they are. So you're going to find opportunities to do that all over campus and hopefully definitely within university ministry. I think also the main thing to say about what it means to go to a Catholic university is to say that you're going to receive an excellent education here. We certainly want people to grow in their faith, and we know that that happens both in and outside of the classroom. So part of my job as a campus minister is to help students, encourage them to be successful in the classroom, to find out what it is that they're learning, to make sure that they're doing their homework and succeeding on exams and studying for finals and getting enough sleep so that they can do all of those things. So we really support our students academically as well as spiritually. Another thing that you're going to find at a Catholic university, especially here at USD, is that we want to help you find a place to belong in community. I was talking to a student who is not Catholic, and I said, why is it that you chose to go to a Catholic school? And she said, I went to a Catholic high school, and I always found that I felt very much a sense of community there. I felt like I belonged. And that's what we really want, to have USD be like this big tent that welcomes everybody in and helps you find the best place for you to be and to become who you're going to be in your 4 years or more. Another thing to talk about in a Catholic university setting is our dedication to service. That we talk a lot about what it means to succeed in the classroom, but really why Catholic universities got started in the first place and why they exist now is to educate people to help make the world a better place. So we're going to give you opportunities to do service work. Some of that happens a lot with our programs in Tijuana. We're about 20 minutes away from the US-Mexico border, a very fascinating and diverse city, certainly full of a lot of wealth, but also extreme poverty. And so we go and visit some of our friends and neighbors there and get to engage in the reality of what the international experience is like and build relationships with people there. A lot of that happens on this side of the border as well. So that happens in university ministry. We also have a Center for Service Learning, where both in the classroom sometimes you have opportunities for service, and then also outside of the classroom on a purely volunteer basis to really engage the community in what it means and what it looks like to engage the needs of this world in the way that our faith motivates us to be a part of the solutions for that change. So in our tagline for university ministry is that it's a place to belong, to believe, and to become. So to talk a little bit more specifically about some of the programs that we have offered in university ministry, I spoke a little bit about the religious diversity that you'll find on USD. We have certainly a huge number of Catholic students on campus. We also have Protestant groups, Jewish groups, Muslim groups, Native American spiritual students, Buddhist students, as well as study abroad programs that take students into real life experiences of these faiths as they're lived today in the modern world. One of the coolest things that we do at USD is called the All Faith Service. And this happens every year in January, right at the beginning of the spring semester. We're getting prepared for it right now, where we have an hour-long prayer service with major faith representations. So we've had in the past Hindu dancers, Tibetan monks chanting, Native American spiritual dancers. This year we're going to have a Tibetan singing bowl master and a Sufi dancer come. And so it's a really great moment for professional performers and ministers of these different religions to come and invite us to pray with them. And then we also have students participate from these various faith traditions, reading prayers and inviting our whole community to pray and to join each other in a way that celebrates diversity, but also celebrates togetherness and unity. So then to talk a little bit about our Founders Chapel. We have two churches actually here on USD's campus. You'll see a lot of pictures of the Immaculata, which is the one with the big blue dome on top. And that's the one that is most well known around the city of San Diego and certainly on campus. And that's a big chapel. And on Sunday, there's various members from the community come and celebrate Mass there. There's both the 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock in the morning Mass. But there's also a student chapel we call Founders Chapel. And this originally was the chapel that was used by the nuns, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, who helped to found the university. And so it's this beautiful, ornate, kind of wooden masterpiece of a chapel that's really beautiful, and where the student masses are held. So these are two masses on Sunday nights, both 7 and 9 p.m. And they're really beautiful because the students help do the readings, they're the Eucharistic ministers. We have people who, the choir is all student-led, and it's a really beautiful way to have the whole community join together in prayer on Sunday nights. The chapel is also open 24 hours, so a lot of students kind of pass by on their way to class to say a quick prayer or just to find a moment of solace to ask God to help them through their day, to pray for their family who they may be far away from, or whatever else it is that they might need. In addition to the Sunday night masses, we have Wednesday night the Mass for Peace, which is at 9 p.m. and it's a really nice moment of contemplation in the middle of what are very, very busy weeks. We turn the lights down low, so it's a real kind of prayerful, contemplative moment for people to come to celebrate Mass in the middle of the week. As well as every day at 12:15 there is an opportunity for Mass. So that's Founders Chapel. And then to talk a little bit about service opportunities, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, but service opportunities are legion at USD. Certainly within university ministry, I can talk specifically about some of the things we offer, but there's also the Center for Service Learning and then the Center for Awareness, Service, and Action. There's tons of ways to get involved in volunteering if you're interested in working with people who are homeless, if you're interested in working with kids and tutoring, working with immigration and migration issues. We have tons of opportunities for those. To talk specifically about some of the things we have in university ministry, our most popular program is our, we call them Breaking Ground Tijuana Day Trips. So once a month we offer a chance to go up to visit our neighbors in Tijuana, Mexico, in one of the poorest areas of the city of Tijuana. And we help out. There's a group of priests that work there in a mission community, and they often need help doing some kind of physical labor project. So we've done a lot of laying of concrete, we've patched roofs, we've dug ditches, we've built chapels. They just kind of need some man and woman power to get in there and help them kind of build up their community. And then we visit a couple of different places. We visit an AIDS hospice. It's one of the only AIDS hospices in the whole state of Baja California. And then we also visit a shelter for migrant men. And so these are opportunities to really get to know people who are living in very difficult and desperate situations. And they love actually getting to meet students and talk to them about what their reality is. A lot of the folks who've been deported maybe grew up in the same neighborhood that a student was from in Sacramento or near Los Angeles. And so it's this real beautiful encounter and a chance for genuine dialogue and learning. And so students regularly love to sign up for these. We usually have about 60 people every month who want to come. We only have about 20 spots, but people find it a really meaningful experience. In addition to that, we offer a program called the Interfaith Shelter Network once a semester for a week. And we take students off campus and we go to a shelter that is kind of an interesting way of having a shelter. It kind of jumps around from different church to different church every 2 weeks. And so we help a local Baptist church serve dinner and provide hospitality and fellowship for the 12 to 15 guests that are in the shelter. And students love, first of all, getting off campus and then also getting to meet some of these folks who are learning and developing job skills, who are transitionally figuring out how to have housing. And so a lot of students who've maybe learned about homelessness in their classes really enjoy getting to know some of the people and hearing some of their stories. So it's a really beautiful way to learn and to grow and to be in solidarity with people who might be living a very different life than you are when you're in college. In addition to service, we offer some immersion opportunities. These are kind of longer, extended experiences over the breaks that we have. So we have a fall holiday, it's a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, and then a 2-week trip over intercession, and then also a week-long trip over our spring break experience. So we go to East LA, to El Salvador, and also to Tijuana. And we call these our Romero immersion programs. So these are based in the life of Oscar Romero, who was the Archbishop of El Salvador, and led this really beautiful and heroic and inspirational life that encourages us to go on these experiences to engage in issues of solidarity, of social justice, of spirituality, and of simplicity that really help students engage who they're becoming and how they want to be in the world. So those are tremendously popular as well. Students really love to be able to have those experiences. 2 last things I want to tell you about. One is living out your faith in your residence halls. We have weekly gatherings for the different residence halls. So it's once a week for about an hour where you come together in prayer. And sometimes it's kind of focused like a Bible study. Sometimes it could be praying a rosary. Sometimes it could just be talking about your highs and your lows of the week and maybe where you saw God or where you're struggling to see God. Maybe we're asking for your peers to give you some prayers for a difficult moment or a midterm coming up. But it's a really great place to find a sense of community, to find some friends that also may be similar to share some similar values with you right next door. So you don't have to go all the way up to the chapel to find it, but it's right where you live. And then the last thing I want to talk about is spiritual direction. I think it's one of my most favorite things about my job is to sit with students as they explore personally and individually who they're becoming and where God is moving in their lives. So we certainly have opportunities for you to do that in groups with other people of your same age or maybe a few years older than you in a kind of a mentoring relationship. But we're also here as professionally trained campus ministers to sit with you, to pray with you, to help you explore the questions that you may have. And students feel like they really appreciate having just one other person to talk to about some of the kind of most intimate and spiritual moments of their lives, the ways that they find God more and more ready to love them. And sometimes spiritual direction can be a way that happens, and is a really beautiful thing. So those are some of the things that we offer in university ministry, and I'm happy to answer any more questions that you might have about those specific programs. But I think that we're maybe going to move to questions.
Yes, and we have been receiving some great questions here. Bear with us while we get to your questions. The first one is, what kinds of religious clubs does USD offer?
Yeah. So right now I know that we have active clubs in what first is called Hillel, so that's the Jewish student organization, and then we also have the Muslim Student Association, and then I also just recently heard, I think there's a group trying to get a meditation group together.
Okay.
So we have ways for you to get involved in whichever faith, denomination, or tradition that you come from, to help find other students maybe on campus that share that, or to also help you get out into the community to be at the place where you would like to worship with your own tradition. So some of that is us in university ministry kind of creating those opportunities, and some of that is students coming and starting that initiative on their own, and then we kind of support you figure out how to do that. So we're very open, and we have a process to work with students to help create those opportunities where you need them.
Excellent. And another great question, which we do come across quite often, is what percentage of students at USD are Catholic?
That's a really good question. So this is my 5th year working at USD, and the way that I've understood it is that we've been about half, right around there every time. And that's a little bit different than how we first started at, we were kind of a local school at USD, and most of our students were Catholic. But I think that having half of our students be Catholic and then half be from other traditions, or no tradition at all, really helps the diversity and helps both Catholic students and non-Catholic students engage the Catholic tradition in a way that helps them understand the beauty of it.
That's great. Now another great question, do we require students to attend Mass, or is it mandatory to participate in university ministry?
Right, not at all. University ministry and all of the Mass opportunities are totally voluntary. And I think the wonderful thing about that is that we're full all the time. People really come because they want to, come because they feel a need to respond to God, they feel a need to pray in community. And so everything that we offer is totally voluntary, and so some students never come, and that's fine. But again, we do find that students of all different faith traditions are involved in all of our programs, and that's something that we're really proud of.
Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, we do, since we are a Catholic university, we really want our students to grow to the spiritual capacity that you want to. With that being said, we are a liberal arts college, so what that means is we really want our students to have a broad knowledge in broad subjects. So in addition to the math, science, English that you're going to take, we do require 3 theology courses, part of our core curriculum, and they range. They can be from Christianity faith and practices to Buddhism faith and practices, world religions, to even Jesus and pop culture in Hollywood. So there is a theology requirement, but it is one of our largest departments at USD to give our students a diverse subject matter. Another question that came in is, what kinds of retreats are offered?
That's a great question, and I actually don't think I've talked about it at all, so thank you so much for asking. We have a variety of retreats that we offer, and I would say that the first thing to know, especially if you're looking at applying to USD, is our pre-orientation retreat. So this is for incoming freshmen, and it's a very spiritual-based retreat to get you started with your college life. So it's about 3 days, right before orientation days, that help you meet in a small group, have opportunities to pray, and to get to know other students right off the bat who may be coming from a very similar faith background, who you might become friends with right away and then become friends with for the rest of your time at USD. It helps you talk about who have you been in high school, what have you done in high school, and how to how to think about transitioning to what it means to be going to college, because it's different and it's new and it's exciting, and there are challenges and hardships that come along with that. So what PRIO, we call it, PRIO does is help you navigate some of those transitions and be more prepared to enter into your freshman year. And we have, that's all student leaders, so mostly sophomore student leaders, but certainly juniors and seniors as well, who come back from year to year to help freshmen get acclimated and get excited about starting at USD. Probably our second biggest retreat experience is called the Search Retreat, and we offer that once a semester. So that's for sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and we just got done with it, I think, a couple weeks ago. And that, again, is also based in small groups, and then different students give witness talks throughout the weekend to provide information. So some of the themes of the witness talks are, who am I? So a student will talk about who she has become over her time in life and how she's understood herself, and then she'll give that talk, and so then students will have a chance to sit in small groups and have time to reflect on who they are becoming in response to that student's talk. And there's also super fun things, like there's a hike involved in the retreat. There's also a talent show, and a lot of other really fun things that happen. But it's a chance to really do some of that in-depth exploration of who are you becoming and how do you understand yourself. And students just love the retreat. Every year we have a waiting list for how many people want to come. And then there's really cool opportunities to be leaders on the retreats after you go on them. You can come back and serve as a small group leader, or sometimes do some of the extra work around the retreat to help other students have that experience. So that's another opportunity for service that's involved. Those are kind of our traditional retreats. Then we also offer a silent retreat for a weekend in October. Which, don't worry, it's not hard. You don't have to be silent the whole time. You have somebody to talk to. But sometimes really quieting yourself is a way that helps you listen to God better. So sometimes removing the requirement to speak helps us really go in depth into what's going on in our spirit. We also offer a men's retreat and a women's retreat. So kind of to separate the genders and really explore what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, how am I understanding who I am in that role. We also offer a senior retreat, so a lot of seniors kind of going through the anxiety and the questions of what happens after I leave here, to kind of help calm them, assure them that they've learned a lot, to be grateful for everything that USD has done for them, and to kind of send them out into the world prepared and confident. Not just in the career way, but also in the way that God has created them to go and do good in the world. And then I'm sure there's more. We do a Lenten retreat, which is kind of a non-traditional retreat. So that's it's on campus, and it goes throughout the 6 weeks of Lent. Lent being the season that prepares us for Easter, and you get to meet with a spiritual guide once a week, and then you kind of commit to 15 to 30 minutes of prayer throughout those 6 weeks. So it's a chance to really, you don't have to go away, you just live your normal life, but it changes your focus and kind of helps you pay more attention to where God is moving in your life and how to invite God more deeply and intimately into your life.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that there are international service trips.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Baja, is there anywhere else that the students can go?
Great, yeah. So again, once a month we go to Tijuana, and that's just for a one-day experience. It's a full day. It's like 7:30 in the morning till 10 at night. But so that's kind of an opportunity that's going on all the time throughout both semesters. And then our international immersion experiences, actually 2 are international and 1 is domestic. So over fall holiday in October, a group goes to East Los Angeles to the community of Boyle Heights, which is a community that had many gang problems and has given rise to this organization called Homeboy Industries. And it's kind of this beacon of hope. It's the largest gang intervention program in the nation. And so students go to kind of meet former homies, former gang members, and talk about some of the issues that they've dealt with, where they see hope in their lives, how they're living lives of dignity now. And then over January, we go to El Salvador, so that's an international experience. That's 2 weeks. and we learn a lot about the history of the country, especially the Civil War that they experienced during the decades of the 80s. And students get to spend time in a rural village with families, so they get to stay in homestays. And these families welcome the USD students into their homes and really become like family. They talk about my host mom, my host daughter, and share stories and get to know one another. And really we talk about this as a journey to solidarity. So these are people that you'll never forget, that will shape what you decide to study, who you decide to be involved with, and what you decide to do after you graduate. And then again, we go for an extended time to Tijuana over our spring break. We call that Tijuana Spring Breakthrough, because we find that after that experience and getting to know a lot of the people that live on the other side of the border, that our perceptions about the border and about people that live on the other side of the fence from here at USD changes, and hopefully we can be beacons of hope for that in our community as well.
All right. Well, Erin, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us this
you.
afternoon.
Good luck, everyone.
Appreciate you answering all of our great questions. Now, if you all will stick around, we have a student who is a part of university ministry, Ernesto Hernandez, that will be joining us. And let us bring him in. All right.
Good work. I'm gonna go hot.
Okay. All right, so Ernesto. All right, so we have Ernesto Hernandez.
Hello.
He is a senior, a current senior here at USD, and he is going to be talking about his experiences in university ministry. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, so hi everyone, my name is Ernesto Reyes Hernandez, and I am, again, like Tanya said, I am a senior studying international relations and theology here at USD. I am originally from Cuba, and I moved to the US when I was 15, and I started USD about 3 years ago. And I'm here to answer any questions that you might have right now. I'm sure you have a lot of questions regarding applications, regarding life at USD, the student's perspective on campus, student life. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So feel free to, at any point during the webcast, to ask any questions that you have about USD and my experience on campus. I wanted to talk to you about what it means to be a student at USD and how to study at a Catholic university. USD, like Erin was saying, is a university that welcomes students for all faith backgrounds, and USD does require some theology classes. So they mentioned that you are required to take 3 theology classes, and you get the freedom to choose whichever classes you would like to take. USD offers some very interesting theology classes that are available to all students, and you get very different perspectives from very different faith backgrounds. We even have classes on atheism, belief and unbelief, many classes that you can explore here at USD. I am involved with University Ministry. University Ministry, like Erin was saying, is the organization on campus that aids students in their development of their faith. And as a student who works at University Ministry, I help coordinate the masses on campus. So USD has beautiful masses at Founder Chapel, and they are all student-led. So students are the ones who are serving, and we do have 3 priests on campus, but students are the ones that put the liturgies together, and it's a beautiful celebration. And we welcome, again, everyone is welcome to attend. A lot of students do attend the masses, and they're offered on Sunday nights. So it's very convenient to attend masses, because most of the times you want to take a break from studying, leave the library, and come to celebrate the mass with us. I've really appreciated studying at a Catholic university that welcomes people from all backgrounds. My own faith has grown so much from interacting with people from different backgrounds. And many times, when you're talking with someone from a different faith background, your own faith is growing. So I appreciate it. My experience at USD that has allowed me to meet people from all sorts of different backgrounds and to grow in my own faith and learn more about what their faith is and what their beliefs are. I think that's a very valuable thing that a Catholic university, Catholic education will give to students, the possibility and the ability to meet people from different faith backgrounds and to grow in your own faith. At USD, I have also been involved with other organizations, and as an international relations major, I've worked with the Institute of Peace and Justice that truly embodies Catholic values of social justice. And through the Institute of Peace and Justice, I have worked on issues such as immigration, border issues in San Diego. So USD has a very privileged location, just 30 minutes away from Mexico. So we do value our connections with the Mexican people, our neighbors to the south. So it's very important to keep those connections and to foster the relationships with our neighbors to the south. It's very important to us at USD that students have a well-rounded education, an education that includes the Catholic values of social justice that I mentioned before. The Institute of Peace and Justice has wonderful resources to have students explore what it means to have social justice in the world and to promote that justice and ethical values that allow for people in the world to respect one another and to immerse themselves in the culture and to truly understand that our world is connected and that the actions that we take in our country are going to affect the lives of many people in the world and vice versa. The actions that people take in their countries are going to affect us. So it is important to develop that connection and to understand that the world is connected. At USD, something that really helped me when I was a freshman, I joined one of what now they're called Emmaus groups. Erin was talking about that earlier. So they are faith sharing groups that we have on campus, and they're very valuable resources. It was definitely one of the reasons why I decided to remain at USD, and it allowed me to understand who I was and the place of faith in my life. I come from a country where faith wasn't very important in that society. People were it was very discouraged by the government, so it was difficult to grow in my faith in a place where I was being discouraged from practicing. So coming to USD was the perfect opportunity for me to learn what it truly meant to be Catholic from by myself. And I wasn't just believing what people were telling me to believe, but I was exploring what truly meant to be Catholic. And the Emmaus group that I participated when I was a freshman was was a very valuable resource when I was questioning my faith and trying to understand what truly meant to be Catholic. So these are groups that are led by one of the university ministers, one of the resident ministers, and they're also led by students. So a student will join the resident minister, and together they will create activities, time for meditation, time for sharing between the students, and time for fellowship. So for time for learning from one another and to truly understand the lives of each person in that room. So it was a very great thing to be a part of as a freshman, and I think the students who participate are all freshmen, so many of the struggles that you might be experiencing, such as homesickness, being missing family, trying to adapt to USD, trying to adapt to classes. Classes in college are different, a lot harder, but very valuable. So it's very important to meet people who are going through the same struggle so that you can help one another. And that's something that the Emmaus groups definitely accomplished, the ability to give students the opportunity to connect with one another and to realize that their struggle that they're going through is a struggle that many students might be experiencing. So we do have a lot of resources to help you out in your college career, in helping you understand that we are here for you, and that there are many resources that you can take advantage of if you want to deepen your faith, and if you want to understand your faith and other faiths in a well-rounded manner. Something else that the Emmaus groups accomplish is the ability to talk with other students um, and to understand many of their faith backgrounds. Something that I found that was very interesting was when I would meet other students from Muslim majority countries, and I thought it was great because I didn't really understand Islam until I met some students who practice the religion, and it was very interesting. And they would come to our faith sharing group, and we would have great discussions on trying to find common ground, and many of the beliefs of our religions completely aligned. And I thought that that was very interesting to see how a religion that sometimes in society we think that is very different from Christianity, and when you truly look at the beliefs, they're very similar. They have there's a lot of common ground between the two and between many of the other world religions. So realizing of those connections, I think is really important. And that's something that a Catholic university would give the opportunity to students to realize that there's a lot of common ground, and a lot of common purpose and social justice. The values of the religions are the same. They just have different ways of practicing, and but we want all students to learn from one another, and to learn from different faiths. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about the some faith-based organizations. Erin mentioned that we do have some organizations, and all activities on campus, all faith-based activities on campus, are open to everyone, and open to all faiths. And many times we have ecumenical prayer service, so prayer services that include many different traditions, and they're not just based on the Catholic tradition. USD does value the faith aspect of education, and like Erin was saying, that's something that you will grow in both inside the classroom and outside. Many of the experiences at USD that I've had have happened outside of the classroom, and I've learned a lot from my peers, from other students, and from the conversations that you have on a daily basis. I've participated in a lot of retreats. Erin was mentioning a couple of them, and retreats provided me with a wonderful time to reflect on my own faith journey, and to reflect on to escape the busyness of life at USD. College can be very hectic sometimes, and it's good to take the time to relax, and to take some time for yourself, and to meditate, to pray, to think about what it is that you need in life, to take a break from all those papers that you might have to write, and understand that we need to take care of ourselves, and that's as important as doing well academically. We want you all to take care of yourself, to take some time to relax, and to maybe check out some of the retreats that we have on campus. It could be a one-day retreat, it could be a weekend retreat, or an immersion trip. Those are wonderful opportunities to explore your faith, and to take a step back and look at the world through different eyes. Sometimes I think it's very important to take a step back sometimes, and realize that ask ourselves, why are we doing this? What we came to college for, what, and to truly understand why it is that we are here. I think that's a very interesting approach to take to life, and I think it's a very important one to take when you're trying to sort out what you want to do. At USD, I have found a community. I found a community of people who are here for me, people who understand me, people who love me, and I have also learned how to understand other people and how to love other people. It's a community that will be there for you no matter what. It's a community of people who want to grow with you, and a community that definitely takes care of one another. USD is not a very large university, so you get the opportunity to connect with people on a personal level. I appreciated the size of the classes at USD. They're normally the classes that I've taken are normally between like 20 and 30 students. I've had classes of just 5 students, and it's a wonderful time to truly connect and learn from one another. I cannot imagine going to a school where all the classes are based on lectures that 300 students are attending and listening to the professor and not truly having the opportunity to ask questions. Or you might not want to ask questions in a room of 300 people. And I think it discourages sometimes the value of connecting with one another and of learning what the views of another students are. A lot of the classes at USD are based on the Socratic method. So the students are conducting the class sometimes, and the students are asking questions and interacting with one another rather than only with the professors. The professor will pose a question and a discussion will follow where all students are encouraged and sometimes required to participate in order to know what your views are on a topic and to give you the opportunity to learn what the views of your classmates are. The class sizes at USD also allows for the students to have personal time with the professor through office hours. Office hours are a great resource for students at USD, in which you can visit the professor in their office. They set a few hours a week in which they will be in the office, and you can come by and ask any questions. Just talk about your experience in the class, talk about any challenges that you might be facing, and to truly get the opportunity to connect with that professor and to clarify any doubts that you might have. I definitely encourage everyone, all my friends, to take advantage of office hours because they're a great resource that can impact your progress in the classroom. So professors at USD do care about the students. They genuinely care about how you're doing in the classroom, and not only in their classroom but also in other classes and in their college experience so far. At USD, freshman students are paired with what we call a preceptorial class. And it's a class where the professor for that class will be your advisor until you declare a major, which normally happens your sophomore year. So for 2 years, this professor will be your academic advisor. And any questions that you might have, academic or related to any other topic about college life, you can ask that professor. That professor is also paired with a student who will be your preceptorial assistant. It's normally a sophomore, junior, could even be a senior student who has worked with that professor in the past, and a student who will serve as your mentor in that class and will aid you throughout your college career until you become acclimated with USD. I took advantage of that opportunity, and I thought it was great to have a student who could answer my questions, not just academic, but things like residential life, things about how do we adapt to USD when we're so far away from home for some students. I also appreciated the help that my preceptorial assistant gave me regarding registration. It can be a very stressful time sometimes to register for classes, but if you have someone there who understands the process and who is willing to help you out, it becomes a seamless process. It's very important to understand how to register for classes, and it's great to have someone there to help you register when on time and how the requirements that you need to fulfill. Students now are placed in what we call a living learning community, and in that you will be placed in a community where other students are who have a common interest. So for example, I was placed in the Faith and Reason preceptorial group when I was a freshman, and my preceptorial class was World Religions. And through that class, we were focusing on how different world religions deal with the concepts of war and peace. So we divided class into 7 chapters, and we started 7 religions views on war and peace, and that was a very interesting class. It was a theology class, and another class, which was an international relations class that was focused on the concepts of war and peace, was studying the same concepts through the lens of politics and international relations. And we would have some gatherings in which the students from both classes would share what their views were, what they knew from the classes. And it was very interesting to hear the different perspectives and to realize that religion can make great contributions to issues such as social justice, ethics, war and peace. And realizing that truly helped me, encouraged me to study religion. I studied USD only as an international relations major, and it wasn't until I took a couple of theology classes that I realized that I wanted to study religion. I've always been fascinated about religion and understanding that understanding why it matters so much to some people, and to the point that it can inform the decisions that we make on a daily basis. It can give us a set of values that we will have for the rest of our lives. So I wanted to explore the concept of religion and specifically look at how religion influenced politics and vice versa. So studying at USD has helped me realize that they're very well connected and that they influence one another, and to try to understand both of them in order to impact the world and make change for a positive, inform positive change, not only at USD but in the Greater San Diego community and in our lives beyond USD. I found it particularly helpful to connect with professors in areas that you might be interested in. A lot of students, when they come, they don't know what they want to study, so definitely connecting with the professors and asking questions can help the student realize what it is that he or she might want to pursue for 4 years. It's very wonderful opportunity that a Catholic university like USD gives students a chance to connect with their professors and to know what it is that they would want to study for the next 4 years on campus. I I've taken a lot of interesting classes here at USD. I took a theology class that focused on Protestantism in the United States, and it was a class that was taught through interactive games. So the class was divided. You were each assigned a role, and we had to play that role, and it was a conflict that happened in the Puritan United States, and it was very interesting to see how different people from different faiths interacted in that game, and it really gave us the opportunity to connect with other students and to realize that there are many different teaching methods. There are a lot of different learning methods, and USD truly explores different methods that are not just a lecture-based classroom. A lot of the classes here include a community service aspect in which students are encouraged and sometimes required to serve the community in one way or another, to understand what the problems in that community might be, and to attempt to find solutions to those problems. It's very interesting to see students getting out and serving the community, to truly interacting with one another. USD students serve over 400,000 hours of community service a year. That's a big number. A lot of students at USD do get out through immersion trips, through retreats, through classes, and they explore the concept of interacting with other groups. My sophomore year here at USD, I served as a Catholic Relief Services ambassador focused on faith and politics. So it was an election year, and Catholic Relief Services put on an initiative on faith and reason, so faith and politics, and how to make informed decisions about politics based on our faith. So my job was to educate the campus community on issues of faith and how to reconcile that with our views on politics, how to truly make informed decisions about what issues are important to us and why they are important to us. So USC does allow a lot of great opportunities for students to learn, and I definitely recommend taking advantage of all the lectures that happen on a weekly basis on campus. There are lectures on a lot of different things. I attended one a couple of weeks ago on mass incarceration of black males in the United States, and how that relates to USD's call for social justice. USD, every semester USD has a topic from Catholic social thought, and this semester is focused on option for the poor and the vulnerable. So USD has taken a lead role in the issue of immigration reform, and as a change-making university such as USD, taking advantage of opportunities like these, it's very important to us. So USD has been working on pushing for comprehensive immigration reform, and we've hosted a lot of events to promote immigration reform and to educate our campus community on why that matters in the context of a Catholic university. I think it's very interesting to realize that the Catholic Church has positions on issues such as immigration, and what our role as students at a Catholic university might be. So we've worked for immigration reform. We've held prayer services. We've held special masses. We have held town hall meetings with our local congressmen to asking questions about the progress of immigration reform and what it is that USD can do in order to push for immigration reform. We've labeled comprehensive immigration reform as compassionate immigration reform to truly embody the Catholic Church's call for options for the poor and the vulnerable in times in which we don't take care of our brothers and sisters in more disadvantaged positions. This week we are hosting a lot of events on World AIDS Day. So World AIDS Day is happened. It was last Sunday. So this week students are holding a lot of events regarding World AIDS Day and to educate the campus community on life issues such as HIV and AIDS, and what it is that we can do to make the world a better place for those living with HIV/AIDS, to reduce the discrimination, to get rid of the stigma associated with the disease, and to truly live the gospel values of helping the sick and helping the vulnerable reach the fullness of life that God calls us all to share with one another. It's a beautiful call, but it's a very difficult call to follow sometimes when we are so concerned with our lives. Do you want to take some time to answer any questions that you've had?
Right. And that's a great point, Ernesto. It sounds like you've had a very unique experience here at USD, and it's very personal. And each student who comes to USD is able to make it their own. Now, how easy is it to join university ministry, or are there any requirements? Do you have to join as a freshman?
No, University Ministry is an organization that welcomes all, and you can never join too early or too late. Some of my friends have joined now in their senior year, and they've wanted to participate in some of the retreats. University Ministry is an organization that you join or that you are a part of. It's an organization that in which you can help people who are in need. Help participate in some of the retreats that we have, come to our weekly liturgies, to serve in some of the immersion trips. So there are a lot of ways in which you can help and be part of a university ministry. It's not a club that you have to join and attend meetings. It's a space where you can come, hang out, connect with friends and meet new people, and to truly find that connection with other students on campus.
Right. Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for being a part of our College Week Live Catholic Colleges Day. Let's talk about how you apply to USD. Our deadline is December 15th, so it's coming up quite quickly, and we believe in a holistic approach in the admissions process here at USD. So in addition to your GPA and your test scores, we look at 3 other components as well. Your extracurricular activities, so whether they are athletics, community service, involvement in your parish, work. We really want to get to know you outside of the classroom. We also do require one letter of academic recommendation. We will take up to 3, but one must be from a counselor or a teacher. And then your essay, which is your personal statement in the Common App, which we are exclusive to. And then we also do have USD supplemental questions. Now, Ernesto, tell me your favorite thing about USD.
I would say Mass at Founders Chapel is truly a place where I found a community, and it's a beautiful chapel. And when it's filled with students and laughter and joy, it's a wonderful time to be a member of a community.
That's great. And what do you have? Any advice to all of those USD applicants out there?
Definitely to have an open mind and to apply to schools, not just based on the academics, but based on a holistic approach to things. Apply to a place where you feel like you would want to live for the next 4 years. It takes a lot of time, and I would encourage for those who are able to visit USD and to talk with students. It's a great place to visit and to truly talk with people about their experiences at USD, because I think through personal connections with other students is that you will be able to truly make an informed decision on whether USD is the right fit or not.
That's great. And in addition to campus tours that we do offer, you can follow us on social media as well. Like us on Facebook at University of San Diego Undergraduate Admissions, and then also on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We appreciate you joining our webcast today. Remember, our application deadline is coming up December 15th, and good luck, and we look forward to all of those applications out there.